I was a fan of four guys back in the 60s who actually showed me the way of freedom and rock. They showed me how to perform, how to arrange things in my own style, and how to put my own identity on a tune. The Vanilla Fudge played so you didn't have to dance. So you got to sit there and absorb their talents. The exact arrangements and the feel they put on the record was a mutual thing made between four equals, four musicians that had talent and had the freedom to play in the fashion they wanted to play.
The Vanilla Fudge band started in 1966, and Mark Stein and I had met about a year earlier. We were working in a casual band. Came back to the New York City area and found Vince Martell. And then we found Carmine, and that became the Vanilla Fudge band.
They came to see me at a club in New Jersey, and they asked me to join the band.
We needed a drummer, and he was pretty good.
Yeah, the music we were doing, the covers and all that, slowing things down and making them heavier and stuff, that was a sort of a fad that was going around Long Island. So we were just doing it, you know, as part of the fad that was going on, except because we were probably better players, we had more going for us than most of the other bands. Our first big break was when we recorded You Keep Me Hanging On. You Keep Me Hanging On was always a hit in the clubs that we played. Everyone loved it. Our manager at the time, Phil Basile, he brought us into a studio and we recorded a demo of You Keep Me Hanging On. It was like a one-take mono. So it's like 7.5 minutes that changed our lives because they took that demo, I believe it was WOR FM with Scott Muni and Murray the K, and they put up the Vanilla Fudge, You Keep Me Hanging On, up against like the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and then people call in and vote on their favorite track. And we kept winning. And next thing you know, we were signed to Atlantic.
Most of it was written at home with ourselves. We'd bring it into work, we'd all knock it around.
Right.
Somebody would bring in an idea and everybody would attack it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, I had like a verse thing and Mark Stein had like a chorus, but we all worked on it together and made it one song, you know.
The Vanilla Fudge band broke up in early 1970, but it really happened at a place called the Singer Bowl in 1969 in New York. We were playing with the Jeff Beck group, and that night Jeff Beck fired his band, and Jeff and I walked off and started to plot about putting a new band together.
And then we were going to start with Jeff Beck, and then he got in a car accident. So we started Cactus. Cactus was a great group, but they never really, you know, went big time like Vanilla Fudge. After the Cactus band, we decided to do a band with Jeff Beck. Went and did the album October '72 as Beck, Bogert, and Appice. And in those days, you know, putting together supergroups was like cool. I had heard that Rod Stewart was looking for a drummer. Rod thought it was a great idea, you know, and once I joined Rod, I went home and I wrote some chords and some melodies. Rod wrote the verse lyrics and choruses, and the song became Do You Think I'm Sexy?
The 21st Century Vanilla Fudge is Tim Bogert on bass, vocals, Carmine Appice on drums and vocals, Teddy Rondinelli on guitar and vocals, and Bill Pascali on lead vocals and keyboard.
Playing with Carmine and Tim and Bill is amazing because they give me the total freedom to do what I want on stage. You don't get better than playing with them. The interaction's amazing. Carmine's one of the originators of rock and roll, and Tim's fingers move faster than Alvin Lee. Bill's got like one of the heaviest voices, growling voices to represent the band. That's why I love playing with the guys. It's all about the music.
Yeah, it's a great thing to be able to perform with such high caliber musicians. And you know something, when we were done with it, they came up to us, all these great musicians that sight read like you wouldn't believe. And they said it was a great privilege to work with such great musicians. And we went, yeah, who'd you play with, you know?
There's a great place in my heart for Vanilla Fudge as a unit and the music. We're out there doing it, and it's rock and roll.